Hello? Hello. Okay. Welcome. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2022. It is 5:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is the monthly meeting of the Human Rights Commission. Let's do a roll call of commissioners. Lynn Alexis is absent. Reverend Bogertman,
Present.
present remotely on Zoom. Chief Bright,
Present.
thank you. Chief Callahan is absent. Dr. Garcia,
Present.
present in person. Vice Chair Hosseini,
Present.
present remotely on Zoom. Commissioner McGee,
Present.
present in person. Commissioner Mukabir,
Present.
present in person. Commissioner Pish,
Present.
present in person. I'm Chair Grillo Mara, present in person, and we do have a quorum. And we typically begin our meetings with a land acknowledgement to honor and recognize the original overseers and settlers of this land. And then we take some time to settle and arrive here fully. We live in a very fast-paced culture. We're often disconnected from our bodies and just speaking our ideas and plans and opinions at each other. And so we take a little bit of time to just settle in and be as present as we can in body, heart, and mind. So we'll begin. I'll share my screen for the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge the traditional overseers of this land on which this meeting takes place, as well as honor what this land means to the culture and traditions of those who originally occupied this space. In addition, we extend a welcome to any Aboriginal, Native American, and/or First Nation people joining us today. And on this screen, you can see that Revere is part of eastern Massachusetts, and we are on the land of the Pawtucket tribe. So let's just take a few moments to remember, honor those who were the original overseers and all of our ancestors. And now I will share a very brief poem called Respecting Differences, and then we'll take a sort of few minutes in some more quiet time. What does it mean to be free? That I don't have to think like you or you like me. We can still be friends, get along in harmony, show mutual respect, even if we think differently. Minds have to be open in order to be free. So please, if you want true openness to progress, don't make yourself more while those that are different less. Only tolerance makes us progress, love more, and hate less. So wherever you are, just find a comfortable position. Your eyes can either be closed or open, however you feel safest and most comfortable. And just feel the simplicity of gravity drawing the body down, contacting the chair and the ground. Gravity draws down and the earth rises up to support us. Just let your awareness gently mingle in that area where you're contacting the ground. Just feel your own sense of groundedness. Just notice the breath, this precious life force energy flowing in, flowing out. Just notice how the breath operates within you. Just give it space. Make space for whatever's here. And then sometimes it can be helpful to relax, to bring a benefactor to mind, a benevolent presence. It may be a loved one that's alive or past, a beloved pet. It could be teachers, celestial beings, spiritual figures, the natural world. Just any image that when you bring this to mind, there's just an immediate sense of deep okayness. And we remember everyone has benefactors, even those we love, those that are difficult, everyone has benefactors. And if it's helpful, you might just take a final few slow, deep breaths, almost imagining or sensing you could breathe with your whole body. And we traditionally begin our meetings stating our mission statement, so I will put that up on the screen. I don't know why it's not there. Maybe I'll try that again. Oh. Oh, there we go. And the commissioners, you should have a mission statement in front of you, and those of you in person, only because on Zoom, if we have unmuting, we get feedback. So those in person, please unmute yourself, and we can recite the mission statement together. The mission of the Revere Human Rights Commission is to promote human and civil rights and empower all people of Revere by ensuring that everyone, especially the most vulnerable and marginalized, have equitable opportunities, equal access, and are treated with dignity, respect, fairness, and justice. Thank you. And next, we will approve the minutes from the November 3rd monthly meeting. These are generally posted on the webpage within 10 days of the meeting, and the commissioners received a draft of these minutes this week. So are there any questions, comments, suggestions for edits, or a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Madam Chair. I second.
And all in favor, either say aye or raise your hand. And on screen, I see raised hands, so all in favor, thank you. And next, I want to briefly talk about the monthly acknowledgements. December is Universal Human Rights Awareness Month. And so In that spirit, we have something a little bit special and fun and different for this meeting and hopefully for the future in 2023. I'd like to just acknowledge that the agenda was quite general, mentioning that there's a circle process tonight. And I apologize if was any confusion, but we were working through the logistics for this technologically and in other ways right up until this afternoon. So we were doing the best that we can. And please know these are the beginning steps. So we're just in the initial steps of exploring these circle practices. So there'll be opportunities much more in 2023, including with Strong Oak Lefebvre, who was our guest speaker last month, and she is Native American, and this is really her work, her life and work, and so she is willing to partner with us and help with these circles as well. On that note, I do want to recognize Commissioner Kuru Pish. Commissioner Pish has been a circle host. She was trained in leading, facilitating circles 7 years ago and is a big part of her work and life. She pretty much lives this and uses these practices regularly. So she will be sort of hosting a circle, and the HRC will model the circle process, and then we'll leave a little bit of time if any of the commissioners online have any questions or comments or input. At this point, we need to just do it with the people in person. As we grow and mature, we might be able to do it with Zoom participants, and we're hoping to even do it out in the community. So these are just the initial steps. Commissioner Pish, is there anything you would like to add?
Madam Chair, I think you covered it. We'll move to the circle space.
And so we will take a very brief recess because we already have the circle set up, but just to give us a minute or two so that we can get into the circle. And we will have a microphone that we will pass with the other aspects of the circle so that you will be able to see and hear us. And I'm very grateful to Revere TV for all their assistance and support in making this happen. So if you'll just bear with us, we'll be a minute or two, and we'll then come back in the circle. Andrew, we're ready.
Hi, my fellow commissioners. I am so honored to be here today to host the circle. So I am a circle keeper, and circle belongs to everyone in this group. So 7 years ago, Habuko and I were gifted the circle practice by a few indigenous friends, and I call them mentors, Strong Oak, Syra, and also Jeline. And I'm forever grateful for this gift and the land that I live on and stand on right now. Circle practice is a form of governance that we are using at Habuko to promote equity and hopefully eliminating hierarchy part of the governance. And we use it to build community. We use it to build relationship, long-lasting relationship with the community, with the circle members. So I am honored to be here today, and we're going to explain a little bit what the circle is. My mentor was supposed to be here today, Strong Oak, who was here last month, but the weather was prevented her from being here. Sometimes you're just gonna have to trust the universe, and the universe has some lesson for us, and also gift for us as well. Before I starting to talk about the circle process, I also want to acknowledge the land that we are on right now, the land of the indigenous that's been here for hundreds of years. So my mentor, Strong Oak, she reminded me that when I acknowledge the land, she also want me to call for all the ancestors from the 4 directions. The ancestor from the north, the east, the south, and the west. And the ancestor and the creator of the land and the universe, who are here with us or not with us, believe that everyone have the right to be on this land. And everyone have the opportunity to share the space equally with dignity and being respected. Also, the circle, the ancestor also would like us to speak and listen from the heart. And honesty, speak your truth and your honesty. Even though we might not speak from a heart, our ancestor know. She reminded me, our ancestor know when you don't speak from the heart and your truth. It's up to you to decide that. And then also the ancestor also want to make sure that we protect our water, make sure that our water is clean, our environment is safe. Every decision that we are making for the best for our next 7th generation. It's a long generations, right? So it is important for us to be together in the ways that we are in relationship with one another. So with that wisdom, the circle process is a core mechanism for governance in indigenous community throughout the hemisphere. Circle is a process of community building through the creation of sustainable long-term relationship between members of the circle. Circle have been used successfully in the community on how to deal with breaking agreements and differences of opinion where all voices are heard. Circle process is enactment, thank you, Janine, for your help, of the principle of the indigenous medicine wheel, which is an ontological map that explains the order of the universe, the world, human relationship, and humanity itself. The first layer of meaning pertain to the nature of the self, which is that we are made up of 4 core parts: body, mind, emotion, and spirit. A human being in good relationship with itself is in good relationship with its body, mind, emotion, and spirit. At this point, it is important not to get into deterministic arguments seeking to fully understand that each of these means, from an indigenous point of view, everybody is different, and so everybody expresses each of these elements in their unique manner. The focus is less on definitions and is more on identification of a type of landscape of human expressions from which one can appreciate each person's unique expression of itself. And in the circle practice, we have a talking piece. I'm not good with the mic. So as you see, we have the talking piece and the centerpiece. I'm gonna explain the centerpiece. Circle use the centerpiece to create a focal point that supports speaking from the heart and listen from the heart. The centerpiece may include items representing the value of core self, the fundamental principle of the process, a shared vision of the group. Centerpiece often emphasize inclusion by incorporating symbol of individual circle member, as well as culture represented in the circle. Talking piece is very sacred. Talking piece is passed sunwise around the circle. No one can interrupt the person holding the talking piece. One can pass if they don't have something to share. No cross-talking. Listen fully and no interrupting, shouting at someone or judging someone. Only the person holding the talking piece may speak. And self-care is so important in the circle. If you need to take care of yourself, please do so. So for that, we're going to start the circle. So we are going to invite, and also circle is an invitation. It's not force. Everyone who's sitting in the circle is volunteering to be here. Thank you. And also, circle is not a cult. It's a practice. Yes, you know what? I'm going to pick a talking piece, and I'm going to pass it. Pass it to you.
This is the opening reading. Turning to One Another by Margaret J. Wheatley. There is no greater power than a community discovering what it cares about. Ask what is possible, not what's wrong. Keep asking. Notice what you care about. Assume that many others share your dreams. Be brave enough to start a conversation that matters. Talk to people you know. Talk to people you don't know. Talk to people you never talk to. Be intrigued by the differences you hear. Expect to be surprised. Treasure curiosity more than certainty. Invite in everybody who cares to work on what's possible. Acknowledge that everyone is an expert about something. Know that creative solutions come from new connections. Remember, you don't fear people whose story you know. Real listening always brings people closer together. Trust that meaningful conversations can change your world. Rely on human goodness. Stay together.
Put These talking pieces are also gifted by the member of the circle and survivor of domestic violence and their children who also participated in the circle. Thank you. So I picked one. So we're gonna do the check-in. Your check-in is share your name and what brings you here today. So my check-in is, so my name is Kuru Pitch. What brings me here today? There's so many things. First and foremost, I'm here today because of the Mayor Arrigo, who elected me to be here, and also all the city councilor who elected me to be here. And I'm here also, I care deeply about our community, and I cares about equity and justice for everyone, and the well-being of everyone who lives in this community. That's why I'm here today.
Thank you, Kuru. I feel honored and humbled. My name is Rashid Mokhabir. I feel honored, humbled to be here in this group. I was elected to be part of this group, and as I mentioned, I take it as an honor. I feel like it was my responsibility and my duty to be part of this courageous group that addressed many issues since they were elected. And because of the work we have been doing in the community as community organizers, that's probably one of the reasons I became one of the spokespersons in my community. I didn't choose to, but it's just because of we don't like injustice. We want everybody to be treated equal. There is a lot of injustice, not just within our community, but it's in the world. And not a lot of people that step up to do the work that we do. It's not we choose to be in this, but it's we were selected and elected, and it's been a tough year, but we encourage other people to step up and do what we have been doing. That's all.
My name is Janine Grillo-Mara, and I'm grateful to be here. It feels somewhat serendipitous that I was appointed along with the rest of this group that was appointed, and we happen to be together in this sort of time and place these past couple of years for most of us, or past few months for some of us. And I'm here because I'm interested in belonging. I'm interested in how I can acknowledge the advantages that I've had just because of who I am and having white skin. And not that that means anything good or bad, but just that it's just sort of a fact that instead of starting at the end zone, I probably, as a white person, start at the 30 or 40-yard line compared to others that don't have similar advantages. And so whatever I can offer so that we can feel more connected in our community, so that we can understand each other, learn from each other, tolerate each other, that's sort of why I'm here and doing that however I can in the ways that I can with what I bring.
Hi, I'm Molly McGee. I am here, I was appointed like everyone, but I think I requested to be a part of the commission after I saw what was going on in Revere and what all of my fellow commissioners were engaged in here and the work that you all had started. I joined a little bit after everybody, and I want to leave a positive mark on Revere. I want to be a part of positive change and a positive lifestyle here for everyone. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you. My name is Lorenzo Garcia. I work for the school department and also a member of the Human Rights Commission. Why I'm here? I'm here because I want to be a agent of change. I'm here because I truly believe in equity, diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I'm here because our city is very diverse. All the voices are not represented. We have people from all racial backgrounds that I don't feel are benefiting the system the way they're supposed to. And I'm here because I want to be part of a large movement. And this is a section or subsection of that movement, a movement for social transformation that really puts a strong foundation towards making sure that everyone is treated with respect. Everyone feels that they matter in the process, and I feel that, and everyone feels that they can make an impact in our city. So those are, among other reasons, why I'm here, and I'm glad that I fully embrace the mayors of Revere of this community, the mayor of Revere. I embrace his belief in terms of pushing the system to deep transformation so that we can have a better city that is more representative, is more equitable, and more diverse, and people feel that they belong to something that can be proud of.
Thank you, Lorenzo. Hi, my name's Chris Bright. I'm the fire chief, member of the HRC, appointed like my fellow members here. And the reason why I'm here is because I think this HRC is very much needed in the city. You know, I don't know if everyone's aware, but we had one approximately 20 years ago, and it kind of went away. I feel that these are very strange times right now, politically and otherwise. And this is crucial work to do in our city. You know, the city that I grew up in years ago, it's a much different city, and it has been for the past 10 or 20 years, slowly. And I think our job is to bring, like my fellow commissioners have mentioned, you know, everyone's voice to the city government, and everyone have an opportunity to be heard, you know. And just last week, we were in our schools at the Susan B. Anthony, and I can report to you, we are a very diverse community, and these kids were very interested in what's going on with the HRC and engaging with some of our commissioners about the work that they do. I'd like to see us continue along this vein of bringing in the youth of the community so they can be heard. They're the future of our community. And I can really feel this, you know, we're starting to get a little traction. And this commission, I'm sure we're going to be going forward and doing some great work in the year ahead. So I'm very honored to serve along with such great people here. And thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. I'm gonna switch. I like to switch my talking piece because you can give different energies to different talking piece. So before we move to the next kind of conversation, and I would like to invite everyone to think about this. So we're gonna work on agreement before the next conversation. So the agreement is that what do you need to give yourself, and what do you need from others to bring your best self here. So for me, I would like to be able to speak honestly without being judged. And I mean, in a circle, I'm supposed to listen 80% of the time and speak like 20% of the time. So I encourage everyone to speak from the heart. That's what I need from everyone. And also, if I need to do self-care, I would be able to do that as well. Yeah.
I think that I like everyone to focus deeply on the mission that we drafted together. And it means a lot to me, that mission that we drafted together, because it took us a while to draft it and try to have it representative of the work that we have started together. If we are all focused on that mission, I think we will have a good ground that will unite us.
I need to stay grounded, stay connected to my heart, to speak my truth, to listen deeply without judgment and with curiosity and compassion. And to whatever level others could do that, I would be most grateful.
So just speaking my truth, I do not understand what I am answering right now, what I need from the group and what I need to bring. Okay. I want to just echo that I think we all understand each other, and like a continuing openness to and willingness to understand each other. And echoing my previous commissioners, I think grounding, a togetherness, a willingness to share our ideas so that I can backpack off of them about my intentions. Thanks.
Thank you. For me, in terms of norms, I think one of the things that I push for all the time when I am in a circle like this is to really be focused. Listen to what people are saying, not be being judgmental about what people say. Acknowledge my imperfections, not perfect, and also show that I am a human being. I have vulnerabilities. Only that, while you do acknowledge those things, you're coming from a place of humility and sense that we are human beings, and as such, there's always something to learn, something to contribute to.
Very difficult following Dr. Garcia, I'll tell you that. However, I think what I need to do, in echoing some of my fellow commissioners, is to, remain focused, calm, listen, truly listen to others, be non-judgmental. Like Lorenzo said, acknowledge we're human beings, we're not perfect. No one bats 1,000, no one's correct all the time, and that's okay. But be willing to try to better yourself, improve yourself. And from our fellow commissioners, I think we all do try to give each other what we need, when we communicate with one another, when we show up to do something off of these meetings, and they haven't always been easy, but I think everyone's been doing that, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you, commissioners. So what I have heard is that speak from your heart, be grounded, listen without judging. I heard that imperfection, self-care, responding to the mission, and vulnerability, humility. Thank you. So the first question is, what does human rights mean to you? And why do you serve on the Human Rights Commission? So I'm gonna pass the talking piece. So what does human rights mean to you, and why you serve on the Human Rights Commission?
A Human Rights Commission means to me protecting human rights, and I like to serve, and I'm serving in this commission because I believe, and I truly believe, that everyone should be treated with respect, dignity, and fairness.
What human rights means to... So what human rights means to me, I think on a very fundamental level, I believe that dignity is innate and does not need to be earned. And so I serve on the Human Rights Commission to support whatever it is that we can do through research, through education, through difficult conversations, through storytelling, through processes like this, so that we can actually see and respect that human dignity and not so much see a so-called other. So I serve on the commission so that we can do things through education, through research, through communications, through circle processes, whatever avenues they take, so that we actually can, not just us, but the whole community, see that innate dignity in one another and respect it and foster it.
Human rights. What human rights means to me, I think I always first think of equity. I want to think of equality, but we talk about the difference between those two words a lot. I want to respond more to why I'm here, because I think that for me, I guess, the fight for human rights and the continued struggle for this equality is the reason that I'm here. We all have things that we do in our life and things that we dedicate our time to, causes that we care about beyond human rights. When I think a lot of people saw what's going on in Revere, we decided it required more time from our lives because of how important human rights are and how they're not always being respected in Revere, how they weren't represented, still are often not represented. So I think I don't have a great definition of human rights, and it's because we don't see it. It's this idea often. And so I'm in the pursuit of what would be my best definition for what are human rights.
So when I think about the definition for human rights, I just follow the Declaration, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which basically is to ensure that everyone has access to resources, people's life are protected, preserved. People have a right to a place where they can stay. They are dignified. They have rights to basic necessities, education, rights to health care. These are all part of the rights that humans should have. However, obviously, there are some complex structures that prevent many of these things from happening, and we know the reasons. We know the factors that really interfere with those things. There are forces, powerful forces out there, and it affects everyone in Revere, everywhere. So that's the reason why you have a Human Rights Commission, is to make sure that we are the watchdogs, to make sure that really those peoples are protected and preserved. Why I serve on this commission, is that the subset of the question? So I serve on this commission because I want to be one of those. There are certain, I think Molly said it, there are certain principles, there are certain things that are part of our personality, a part of our history, that we value, beyond monetary. None of us here is paid, right? We are volunteering our time to come to these meetings, come up with solutions, try to dialogue with the population, with our community, to make sure they protect it. So I think those are the values. There are certain things that really triggers us, and that's the reason why I serve here. And I think that's the reason you all here, right now. So,
Human rights to me, I mean, basic rights every human being are born with. They're not, you don't have to earn them, they're not given to you. Those are rights. People are people. Doesn't matter what color, nationality, religion, so on and so forth. Basic rights. People have the right to be treated fairly, with dignity, respect, kindness, all those things. And that is why I think not just myself, fellow commissioners, we're all serving here, we're hoping to move the dial in that direction, because there's a great need for it, okay? And it's not going to be without pushback and some difficulty, but we are committed to that goal. And there's no doubt in my mind, we will achieve it at some point in time.
For me, human rights mean equity and justice. And I remember I came across with a graphic about equity and justice. You can also be equitable, but also if one side has more than the other side has less, then it's not justice. So what it means, justice, that everyone also receive and give basic needs. And this space is shared, resources are being shared based on what the needs are. And I also think about Well, why I'm here, first and foremost, the opportunity was given to me by the mayor and his mission. And then also, I'm here because the work I've been doing all my life is about, undoing racism, decolonizing our mind, our body, also looking at a deeper issue that created for injustice in our community, and based on my personal experience as well. And I'm also sitting here speaking from a privileged place as an Asian woman. And all the work that I am doing in terms of human rights work, really focusing on the Black community. And I believe that as a Black woman is free, everyone else is free. That's the goal and the work that I'm working toward. And, a lot of us talking about equity and inclusion. And oftentimes we can identify with like race, ethnicity, culturally and all of that. I also want to include like all the ism in equity and inclusions, like we'll talk about the rights of the women, children, people with disability, LGBTQIA, the people who have been marginalized, like people who's on the margin of the margin. So those are the things that I'm talking about, and that's why I'm here. Anyone I would like to add more? We can pass it one more round, or we can move to the next question. Next question? Okay. How has this work been so far for all of us? How has this work been so far for all the commissioners?
This work, to me personally, it's been educational. I learned a lot from this group, and sometimes it's been challenging because I think members of the community that are anticipating a lot from the Human Rights Commission, but I think we don't have any, we're not like a governing body. We don't have much power. What we can only do is to sensibilize people about issues happening within the community. We can make suggestions, but we don't have any power within the community to make things happen right away. Yes, we can initialize change, but we cannot make it happen right away. But I think we have been listening to different community members and listening to their struggle and pointing them to the right direction. And I feel proud to be part of this group. It looks like some people may not see like a lot of things accomplished by this group, but just uniting this group and it's not an easy thing. Just the mission took us like months to draft it, but it's been a wonderful journey for me.
What's this work been like so far? I agree with Rashid that it's been educational. learning from fellow commissioners. Also, trying to learn what the community members need, not only the ones that we're serving through our mission statement, but those that are opposing us, trying to read between the lines and get beyond just the conflict and the division. Even though it may not seem it, we have accomplished quite a bit, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, I could list a number of things, but we've had guest presentations where we've addressed certain things. We've created some resources. We have our webpage is growing. We're here doing something like this. We've done some things here that are very unique and different and new and fresh. And it's challenging that when community members come and oppose our board, it's fine for people to have a difference of opinion and oppose. It's just really challenging when people raise their voices, yell, slam doors. It's really difficult to conduct business, and it's difficult to hear each other. I also feel that it's challenging. I question how invested the leadership of the community is in this kind of work. And how much support we have really out there. So, but to finish, that's part of this work. This isn't easy work. It's not clean work. As Carew often says, change is a process, not an event. These kinds of topics they bring up sort of thorns in us. We have differences of opinions and ideologies, and my aspiration is that we can work through that, work through it, in and through, and not just get hijacked by it and just stay separate.
How has this work been? I always acknowledge that I came to this work far long after many of you, and I think I have to acknowledge that this work has been pretty painless for me and harmless to my individuality as a white woman on this commission. Just to name the commissioners have been on this commission attacked about their ethnic origin, the languages that they speak, the way they look, the religion they practice. That has not happened to me. I have not been personally attacked by members of the community, either during our commission meetings or outside in the parking lot, which has also happened. I look forward to doing this work. I am a litigator, so I'm here to talk about the issues. I think that's why I joined, and I was a good fit. I'd like to do more of this work, continue talking. I guess that's inherently what a litigator is. So to be here and have these discussions, hopefully be a part, maybe lead part of the community on certain discussions, especially about what it means to be a white person in this community, with an bustling, diverse immigrant community since forever. As an immigration attorney, that's my main goal, is to represent, I think, the immigrants in this community, but that goes hand in hand with every member. If one's doing well, we're all doing well. So I want to do more work and continue to work alongside my commissioners and support you in the safest way possible as we do this work together.
Thank you. So, for me, this journey has been very interesting. Interesting in the sense that being part of this commission, you have to expect that there will be always conflict. It's just the way it is. You got to be mentally prepared for it. We talk about ideological clash between those who don't believe in this work and those who believe in it. And I'm sure there are a lot of people in Rivera who do believe in this work. But we have segments of the population that disagree with us, which is normal. In any society, you will not find people that will agree with you 100%. There will be all of those, actually those who oppose us, as long as they do it in a organized and civilized manner. We welcome those because those oppositions make us grow and actually shape our way of thinking and keep us moving forward. The issue becomes when it becomes uncivilized and people, I always call those people distractors. They come, they voice their opinion, they leave, and they leave some, certainly they say things that probably you could say, but it's a right that they have. So, I've learned quite a bit about ways in which people think in this community. Certainly every time I come to a meeting, it's like I have several thermometers in my pocket. I have to pull one thermometer and really check the temperature of the room because I'm expecting the moment, people showing up and, causing disturbance and things like that. Or maybe, calling you names or asking you to go back to your country and things like that. And not realizing that America was made by immigrants and it's for a country for immigrants. And so these are all part of our journey. The journey is a painful process. So we will have to count on that. So for me, it has been interesting. I learned a lot. I'm willing to learn more with you, from you, and I want to bring my contribution. And without any fear and intimidation, those are the things that I believe in, and I will keep to push things forward and working with you. But I think that it has been certainly very interesting.
I would have to agree with those comments by Lorenzo. It has been very challenging the first few years of the HRC. Whenever you resurrect something like this, like Lorenzo said, not everyone's going to be on board. You're going to have to deal with a certain amount of resistance and maybe uncivilized actions against you. But it's been educational. I mean, I've learned a lot. I know that it's been very eye-opening. It seemed like we started getting a little traction, and then COVID hit, and then that we had to go into Zoom mode for a whole year, pretty much, or a year and a half. So that made things difficult for everybody. But despite all that, we're still here, and we're all still committed to this work. And I think the fact that we just exist and we're not going anywhere is a victory for human rights going forward. So.
Thank you. So far, I enjoy all my fellow commissioners and the work that we are doing and stay focused on a mission. And a lot of the work that we have done together, all of the goal plan, the work that hopefully we will be able to share with the public. And so far, there are some challenges, and I think for me, it's very hopeful, right? It is very hopeful, and there's a reason why we're here. And I would encourage those of who disagree to have a Human Rights Commission in the rear to really challenge yourself why Human Rights Commission exists in the world, and educate yourself. I would like to see all of you contribute to this discussion and also part of the work. All those, to say the least, that our work is not always rosy, it's lots of challenges. And sometimes I come here, I am fearful for some of my fellow commissioners who are Black, who are Muslim, who are LGBTQIA representing, even the white allies. I have some fear for your safety. It's not just personal space safety, but also emotional safety as well. This work is hard. It's hard on itself, and then also to have people coming here attacking individual and also group. It makes it harder. So how can we sit here together and have those conversations about our differences and acknowledge our differences? Our differences should be enhancing our growth, and I would like to have those conversations, because obviously I'm part of this community. You're not gonna drive me out, and I'm not gonna drive you out of this community. We're gonna share space, we're gonna share air, we're gonna breathe together. So how do we have some common understanding that we are here together and we can do great things together? Being different is not a deficit. It is not. I'm still energized to do this work. And that's the reason why I'm committed to doing this work, because of the community. We were talking about people who have been marginalized for many years, right? People who's on the margin of the margin, the BIPOC community, people with disability, people with who's been oppressed. And yet I'm a very hopeful person. So yeah. Want to try it? We have 20 minutes, so we can be a little brief. The next questions: what kind of support do you need from the community? Revere community.
That's a tough question. I mean, I would say that we got a lot of support from the community. We got a lot of people coming to this room to defend us, you know, and I'm very, I want to thank them. I'm very thankful to these people, but sometimes those people, that are facing the same issues we are facing, like somebody came last time to defend us, then some people, they were attacking them in the parking lot. You know, like these group of people that there are in the commission, they have a thick skin. They have been trained in the community. They were chosen, carefully chosen, you know, because they have been doing a lot of work in the community, a lot of challenging work. And, you know, that work that we are doing it, as my fellow commissioner said, we are doing it as volunteers. We don't get paid. And we do it for the love of our community. And we do it because nobody want to do this kind of work, you know, like you are being attacked every day, you know. If it was a job, I would just change it, you know, but it's not a job. It's an honor, you know. It's a, we are defending some powerless people that they have been marginalized for so many years. I would like from these people to continue their support, to continue to trust us, and why not? We need more people. We think that we are representing most people within the community, but if somebody doesn't feel that is represented, or maybe their views are not heard, they are more than welcome to join the group. But I am very thankful to those people that have been supporting us in the last 2 years.
I think I feel three things. One is to have those that support us, to continue to support us because it means so much. Two is that for those who do feel oppressed and marginalized, in whatever way we can help to help make them feel safer so they can share their stories, because it's through learning about each other that we don't become so intolerant. And three, for the people that oppose us in our existence, I just ask that there can be some willingness. We don't have to agree, but just some willingness to be able to communicate in ways that are more civil and respectful.
I think a continued thought is just this community involvement. So anybody that is willing, feels safe at this time to engage with us, I think we continue that over and over. We want to see high school students, Susan B. Anthony Middle School students, if you're watching us, shout out to you guys. We hoped you would come. We hoped you would see you. Young adults, working class people, retired individuals, all religions, all colors, everybody that lives in Revere. If you're just going to live here for a small time, if you've lived here for a long time, if you live here now, I think that's what matters. This is 2022, this is 2023, this is what's going on now. So if you can, share your voice, what my fellow commissioner just said, we'd love for you to share so we can grow together. I'd love to see the city council as well as representatives from the wards supporting our work and getting involved with their community, so we are not the only ones doing this type of training and having these discussions. And if we could have other leader heads from the community emphasizing our work, it would have a greater impact. So starting from the city hall, all the way down to our very local reps and grassroots organizers, support us as well.
I think all the things that Rashid, my colleague, just said, and Janine and Molly, those are all good suggestions. I think people, if you're listening, if you're watching us tonight, I think get yourselves involved. Civic work is important, and public discourse is important. That's the only way you can empower yourselves. That's the only way you can learn about what's going on in your community, is by attending these meetings, but also show up, support. There's a lot of good resources out there in the community, a lot of good people out there that really value this work, that really appreciates this work. But don't appreciate the work sitting in your sofa or be home. Appreciation can be expressed in many different ways. Showing up at the City Hall, work with us, and be part of the process. That's critical in this endeavor. So show up, support the Human Rights Commission. We'll work with you towards rebuilding our community, towards building a more equitable, more prosperous community for everyone.
Thank you. Very well put it, as always, Lorenzo. I was very impressed by the response from the community when this commission was under attack. People showed up at the very next meeting. I think we have a lot of support in the community, but if you are watching, like you said, we really encourage your participation, paying attention, and participating in this Human Rights Commission. I think there's a real strong majority of support out there, and there's a real small vocal minority who are against us. And most of those people aren't even from this community. But, so I think it is important for the community to keep stepping up, and I think, again, the youth are gonna be the key to this, because things are gonna change, you know, and you're gonna get on board with the change, or you're gonna be left behind. And I don't think we're gonna change every heart. I'm not that naive to think we're gonna change every heart out there. And I'm really not interested maybe in changing every heart. You know, you have to have a heart to change it. So if you don't have a heart, we might not be able to change you. That's okay. But this commission is gonna continue on with the work we're doing. And no doubt, the support in the community is gonna continue to grow along with us.
Thank you. I echo everyone, one who had said all the support we needed. For me, I think we need everyone from the community. It's like my mentor always said that the ancestor of the East direction, the eagle can see 360 degrees from above, right? And all of us, we need that wisdom, because I can't see the whole 360 degree. So everyone's voice is so important, so that we can make informed decision for our community, what best for our community, what wisdom that we need to bring to this city. So I encourage everyone to be part of it, and that's the support I need. We need to be in relation with one another. So I hope that, and I would love to share my story and hear your stories as well. So I encourage everyone to participate. And like Commissioner McGee had said, that we need everyone that you had mentioned. Yeah. Do we have time for the last question? Yeah, the checkout round. Okay, that's what I meant. So thank you so much, commissioners. That was a very fruitful conversation. And thank you for sharing all of your knowledge. And then also your vulnerability. More to come. So we have the checkout today. The checkout round is what happened for you today.
I highly appreciate this circle process. It gave me the opportunity to voice things that I wasn't able to say throughout the years I've been serving in this commission. But this is very helpful to all of us to sit down and reflect on things that we have been doing. As I mentioned before, we have been supported by our community. I just want to echo things that stayed in my memory. as our chairwoman said, we welcome all the voices, whether are supporting us or against us. But let's just treat each other with respect, because I feel bad inviting other people to come in here while they will be attacked as we are attacked every time, you know. We want to prepare an environment for these people to come in and voice their opinion freely. This is my only worry, but let's hope for the better. But again, this has been very, very helpful to all of us.
I'm very grateful for this time. I really cherish conversation that happens in a grounded, calm way, without crosstalk, without yelling, without those who are more comfortable speaking or dominant speaking, taking up more space, and the reverse for those who are quieter or shyer. And I'm grateful to you, Karu, for your time and energy and support in making this happen this evening, and for all of you that are here that are participating and sitting in these seats and speaking from your heart. And for all those who may be watching now or may watch this on a recording, that may this just sort of model what's possible. There's ways to converse and to learn and grow that aren't our typical ways of just trying to get my opinion over yours. So I'm just very grateful.
I too am very grateful to have shared in this experience and process today, this traditional practice, different than the ones that I have engaged in, that we often engage in here on the Human Rights Commission. So thank you to Strong Oak, and thank you to Commissioner Pitch for sharing this information with us last time, and then Commissioner Pitch for conducting this today.
I would echo what you all said. I think this is a great process in terms of self-reflection and understanding of our work. It's always good when you sit down and you listen to others, others' perspectives, so it's always great. So I just want to also add to what Molly said. I just want to thank Karu and Madam Chair, Janine, for organizing this. Has been great. It's a great opportunity to vent out and speak from the heart, and really, I truly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Karu. I think this is my second circle that I've sat on with you, and you taught me a lot. You're teaching all of us a lot. And thank my fellow commissioners for being so really open, honest, brave, and tough to be hanging in here. But I think this is a wonderful way to have conversations and to have everyone participate, like Janine said, so everyone isn't talking over one another, or certain people aren't dominating a conversation. It goes around the circle, and I think there's a lot to be learned from this.
Thank you, fellow commissioners. And I have to thank Madam Chair, Janine Mara. She wants to continue the SIGIL practice after Strong Oak had talked about the SIGIL practice, how we use SIGIL to govern, to build the community. And I'm thankful for your leadership to model this practice. And wow, I was a little nervous, like with a microphone and being recorded. I think this is the first time I'm sitting in a circle with a microphone and being recorded for my last 7 years of doing circle and sitting in the circle. I am also grateful for the indigenous community and grateful for the land and the gift that have been gifted. So I'm grateful for that. And I hope that we can do this in our community. Thank you. Anybody would like to read a closing reading? It's a very small piece of it, if you would like. It's right here, on the very bottom.
Repeat. You want us to repeat? At this time, we are moving to the closing part of the circle, and come out of the circle of time into the circle of love by Jerome. Thank you.
Thank you all. I would like to just check in. Is Vice Chair Hosseini, is she the only person on? I just would like to give her an opportunity in case she has any questions or any feedback that she would like to share from the Zoom channel, since we couldn't have the Zoom participants here.
Yeah, of course. I love the serenity that came while doing the circle. I really just saw that we got closer as a family. And I really wish that I was there in person. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But a lot of people made some really good points about especially when it comes to what we want what we want to see from the community, and just creating compromises between those who don't want the commission and us. And it's just like, as someone who's always like full steam ahead, it just, having these circles really makes you like slow down and look at what's going on in the present moment and actually working on strategies in order to create those connections. And I've utilized, like, ever since the last circle that we did with Strongo, I utilized that in the school space as well, and I feel like we should definitely continue doing these a lot more often, because it just like it makes us like not overthink a lot of things, just sit down and have to just like focus on what's going on in the present moment without focusing on other issues, and focusing on issues one at a time, and just like telling ourselves that we can't solve all the problems right now, but with patience and with time, it will eventually come. When it comes to like, I guess like what I'm like not worried about, but I feel like a lot of us, what I see from the community is that it's not giving up, it's just like burnout. But I'm really scared of like indefinite burnout, where it's like we just don't want to deal with any of the issues anymore, because with that mindset of there's nothing we can do. But considering our group of commissioners, I feel like it's really hard to not get into that mindset. But I would like to see that more of that in the community, because a lot of people are starting to give up considering what's going on right now. And I want to see the group as a reason why people should keep on going, because we're continuing to keep on going regardless of what issues are happening. So that's all I have to say. But I have nothing else to say.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hosseini. And it's so true that if we just stay present, the future takes care of itself, in a sense. So this feels like a really nice way to end in this this kind of energetic space that's more grounded and calm. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Yes, Commissioner McGee. Second? Second, Commissioner Pish. All in favor? Yes, thank you. And is Vice Chair Husseini all in favor? So the meeting is adjourned, and we will reconvene in early 2023. Thank you all. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you all.